And welcome, friends. Welcome to the inner sanctum. Here you will be horrified and spookified as long as Mary sells some Lipton tea. Okay, I could probably do that better if I wanted to. Huge movie fanatic Nate reporting on this December 9th, 2021. It occurred to me maybe people like in the when we started the show in the winter and in the early in the this year, and we kind of finalized a start time. I think it was 1 p.m. for a while, and I don't know, people have been showing up late, and it makes me wonder if people still think the show starts at 1. I do my best to let everyone know about the day and time that the show is on and what time it starts and stuff like that, but whatever. Um, did I already say it on this show? I don't remember, but every Thursday that we can make it, the show starts at 12 p.m. Central Time. Every Thursday that I can make it, and if I can't make it on a Thursday, I let people know in advance, and if I can make it, then I make it. So if I'm being perfectly honest, I don't even really feel like doing this today, but we're gonna do it anyway and see if anyone shows up. So officially got some snow cover where I am in Minnesota. I'm sure you all care. Had to endure some single digit temperatures already, but those are gone for now. It might frickin' thunderstorm next week. You gotta love the weather these days. But possibly a blizzard tomorrow, which will be interesting. As much as I don't like winter and don't like snow, I gotta tell you that every time it snows, the kid in me, there's gonna be this eternal kid in me that loves it. And honestly, I do think that as crappy as winter is, snow is actually a pretty beautiful thing. And what's really cool, if you guys, I don't know, some of you guys might not, especially in people listening in Australia and stuff like that. Some of you people might not have any experience with snow, but the snow that I think is really, really pretty and amazing is like when the temperatures are in the teens, single digits Fahrenheit, and it snows because it's that really fine crystal just snow. And if the light hits it right, it sparkles like glass little shards. And I mean, it's really, winter is really a beautiful thing. Can be, but it can also be a pain in the ass. So, the prospect of the blizzard tomorrow, or whatever they call it, winter storm, isn't all bad. There's always that part of me, that, you know, 10, 11-year-old part of me that's like still, and I think it will continue for as long as I live. There'll be that part of me that still actually kind of gets excited, when it snows and with the coming blizzard and stuff like that, because there is an element to it that's really fun. And for people, who are listening in climates that never get snow, lucky bastards, first of all. But second of all, it really is almost like, when you get a huge, just blizzard or a huge amount of snowfall, it does seem like another planet. I can remember being a kid and after a big snowstorm and stuff, and just putting on the coat and all the layers and stuff like that, and just pretending like you're on some other planet, like in the movie Alien or something, and you're exploring stuff. And as much as winter can suck, there are aspects to it that are amazing. And so many times, in my 20s and 30s and stuff, well, not 20s but 30s and stuff, I was like, part of me was thinking I was just gonna part of me wanted to get the hell out of here and move to Arizona or something. But I do think that, you know, if I did move to somewhere where there wasn't cold winter and snow and stuff like that, part of me would miss it, because there is a really cool, once again, for those of you who might not know what, an actual winter is like, it's like it's like I say, it's an entirely different, seems like an entirely different planet. And for those of you who don't like bugs and mosquitoes and gnats and, just all kinds of creepy crawlies and stuff. What's really great about winter is it's like this really sterile period where like everything's just either dead or, you know, in hibernation waiting for spring again. And obviously, if you're outdoors, no bugs. I mean, you still got critters and animals and stuff, but, there are advantages to having the outside be frozen solid. It's just so, I don't know, just sterile kind of and quiet. And what's really cool about a snowstorm is it actually has a sound. Like if you just, because it's, if you just sit and listen to a blizzard or a snowstorm, it's like you can almost hear the snowflakes, just all the millions and billions of snowflakes individually falling and almost like rubbing up against each other as they fall to the ground, as they, on their journey from the sky to the ground. It's kind of like this sound of kind of a cool sound. So as always, no one here yet, no one in chat. We'll probably go 30 minutes. If no one shows up, we'll probably call it. I don't know why I say this every week, but someone always shows up. But we'll probably call it good after 30 minutes if I can talk for 30 minutes. And if no one shows up in chat in 30 minutes, I'll probably call it good. Though that's the main thing that's on my mind right now is a potential snowstorm blizzard thing tomorrow. Another thing that was recently revealed is the, Halloween Kills Blu-ray release. Basically on blue-ray.com, the back artwork, front and back artwork for the Blu-ray has been revealed, and I was able to look at the back and see the running time for the extended version, which is, I think it's 4 minutes longer than the theatrical. So that's pretty much, how it generally goes if you've got an extended version. And of course the extended version is unrated, but I don't think it's necessarily, when it's unrated, it means that there's more gore. It just means that they don't bother to submit that version to the MPAA for just the home video market or something like that. But it will definitely be interesting, or not, to see what the extended footage is. I read on comments on blue-ray.com that they filmed, there was some behind the scenes photos or footage of more of the, if I'm understanding correctly, more of the 1978 flashback footage. And they were hoping that, like, Michael's sitting in the chair or something, doing more in the Myers house or something. They were hoping that more of that stuff would make it in. And honestly, that's I guess if I was going to have an extra 4 minutes, I'd probably rather have an extra 4 minutes of the 78 footage. And actually thinking about that, I mean, it'd actually be almost kind of cool to have just an entire, new movie that takes place. I don't know if they could really do that, but it'd almost be cool to have an entire Halloween movie that took place in 78. Or I don't know. I don't know if you could make a whole movie, that follows the events of the first movie before he was quote unquote captured or whatever. But it would be cool, as much as it's kind of goofy. At the same time, I did kind of appreciate, as a fan of the franchise, or the first first three movies, I did appreciate the, you know, pretty serious attempt at doing the 1978 extra footage of Halloween Kills. And obviously, if some of you haven't seen it, that kind of spoils it. This whole spoiler thing is just overblown, in my opinion. They're just movies. It doesn't really matter. But god damn, I'm looking at that little microphone thing. Now I'm all freaked out. It's not doing that thing when I'm talking. I should probably get the phone, since no one's here anyway, and see if you can even hear me. All the no people that are not here. One sec. Let me get the phone and see if we're. I'm just having a little looky at the phone here. See if we can, if the audio is coming through. this microphone. Yeah, I don't know if is noon too early for people to start? I don't know. So I am testing. I'm waiting for it to. Yeah, okay, you can hear me as the thing tries to buffer. Testing, testing. Boy, this is working well. It ain't even buffering. As I'm waiting for this thing to well, I heard myself in that little clip that it did, so I'm seeing potentially someone here. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. You showed up when I'm trying to hear if you can hear me. So I'm currently trying to see if I'm pretty sure you can hear me because I heard a little blip. Sometimes you get the little green dots on your computer that show it can hear you, and sometimes you don't. Well, I think we'll just assume you can hear me as I heard a blip of myself. So, wow, almost halfway to 30 minutes. This will be interesting if no one actually shows up in chat. As we're approaching 12 minutes into the show, what else can I talk about for another 20 minutes? There's actually 18. Yeah, I was looking on eBay for Friday the 13th stuff, and there was a this is kind of alarming. There was a sealed, Scream Factory Friday the 13th Blu-ray box set going for like $250 or something like that, and I'm just like, it just seemed weird to me. And then I'm like, uh-oh. I went to like Blu-ray, blue-ray.com to see if it's like out of print already. It's like they're currently like on Amazon or something like that. They're currently not available. So it's like, holy shit. Like only a year after the release of the Friday the 13th Blu-ray box set Scream Factory, is it already out of print? I've got two of them. Which means, two of them and two replacement discs, which means I've got four Blu-ray discs of part 3 in 3D, which is good. Two that are screwed up and two that aren't. But that's just like, if it's in fact out of print already, that'd be a bummer. Just like, ugh. Part of me is like, should I have gotten three? At least I got two. I got two of the Friday Scream Factory box sets. It's just scary to think they might be out of print already. And congrats to people who, there were some good prices on those throughout the year. Congrats to people that picked them up for decent prices. Just like, I don't know if it ever went below 100, if I ever saw it below 100, but if it never went below 100, it was really, not much more than 100 at some, times throughout the year. Just so freaking grateful to have an actual Blu-ray 3D of part 3. Oh, so grateful. So fun, isn't it? So wow. This might be a record. We might actually do 30 minutes and call it a day. As we're approaching 15 minutes. Do I have anything for 15 more minutes? Oh, wow. Is the radio show, are people lost interest? Yeah, I don't know if there's really much else to say. Oh, I had a $25 gift, credit thing at Best Buy, and I went there to see if I could find anything to spend it on. I actually came across the Blu-ray of the original Black Christmas, which was fun. So that was cool. Actually, for some reason, I never got that yet because the usually the movies like Christmas and Halloween movies, the things that you movies you tend to only watch once a year. If I've got it on a DVD that's sufficient, I generally don't feel like I need to get it on Blu-ray. Like trains, planes, automobiles, you know, I never felt like I needed to get on Blu-ray because I just watch it once a year and the DVD's fine, that kind of stuff. But seeing as how I had 25 bucks to waste, I got that and found something else or whatever. So that's really quite the jam-packed release with it's really cool. The version of the movie, the Scream Factory transfer looks amazing. What's really cool is they, for some weird reason, they also feature on the second disc like the original Blu-ray transfer that came out in, I don't know if it was '06 or '07 or something. So you've got two different transfers, which is kind of interesting. And it seems like commentaries up the wazoo and, video interviews and videos, respective videos, Q&A sessions up the wazoo. It's back when they really packed Blu-ray releases with a lot of special features. So I may or may not do a review on it. I don't know. But it's interesting to see interviews and stuff conducted with some of the actors at different stages in their lives, like back in '07 and, then 10 years later and 16 or 17 or whatever. And the performers that pretty much keep coming back for interviews are just like the woman who was in the bag over her head in the rocking chair, and then the guy who plays her boyfriend and John Saxon. So pretty cool Blu-ray release though. So I was worried that I wouldn't be able to find anything at Best Buy to waste 25 bucks on because it's really hard. It's getting harder and harder. Like there's pretty much nothing there. I used to love Best Buy like in the late 90s, early 2000s. I mean, you could go there and just get, these cool DVD releases, and they'd have all this Anchor Bay stuff, Evil Dead, Anchor Bay release, and Best Buy used to be great in the, 90s and early 2000s and stuff, and you could get CDs. Wow. You could get CDs now at stores. If you're lucky enough to find a store that still sells CDs, their CD section is shrinking and the vinyl records section is growing. I mean, what a joke. Whoever thought that would happen in 2020, 2021? CDs section shrinking and vinyl section growing. If you would have said that was going to happen like in the 90s, in 2021, people would be like, okay, is the 8-track section even bigger than the vinyl section? And actually tape, speaking of 8-track, cassette tapes are kind of coming back too. I don't know if that's in part thanks to Guardians of the Galaxy movies or what, but I kind of think honestly, actually coming from the vinyl era in the 70s and 80s, I do kind of think the resurgence of vinyl is kind of a scam. It's just a way for them to just charge more money for albums. I definitely would rather just hear it on a CD and, rip a CD into MP3s, and it's convenient as all hell. And I'm not much of a vinyl guy, but I do kind of feel like it's just the corporations trying to, make this culture now among the young people who don't know any better, like, oh, vinyl's the best. And, some people may still say, or for them, vinyl sounds the best, and that's fine. But for me, the skipping aspect of vinyl and the non-portability, and then not to mention the cost that they want for these things these days, it's just not for me. Kind of like fucking 4K. What's interesting now is they put full albums on YouTube, so you don't even need to buy the music anymore. You just download all the tracks off YouTube. So wow, we might actually go 30 minutes without anyone showing up and call it a day as we're 20 minutes into the quote unquote rejected show. Holy crap. Talk about a going away with your tail between your legs. Oh well, maybe people were confused and thought that this week was skipped as well. What does this bode? How does what does this say for the future of the show? I don't know. 10 minutes left. Someone going to show up? It's funny how I didn't feel like doing this today, and apparently other people don't feel like showing up today. This is a really bad time of year, especially if you're like in the northern part of the northern hemisphere. It's where it's not cabin fever, that's more January, February, but this can be a depressing time of year when, you're still trying to get used to the loss of summer and get used to the arrival of winter, and it's just like, so I can understand why people aren't here, I guess. Ah, 9 more minutes. Wow. This might be the first 30-minute show. I'm surprised I was able to blab about nothing for this long, nearly 22 minutes. Do I got stuff 8 minutes left in me of nothing to talk about? I guess I can mention, this week is the first week some of the first videos from the winter studio went up. I'm excited to, if this whole radio show thing goes south, at least I can continue to shoot and upload videos all winter. I'm excited to, maintain normal, and in some cases it might be even more than normal video output all winter, which will be a first for the channel. Usually I get all lazy and unmotivated, but it occurred to me, winter in Minnesota is the best time of year to waste making videos, and it might help, pass the time, and might actually help, to keep busy and might help get me through the winter. So as many of you already know, the video output will continue pretty much unchanged throughout the course of this winter. So yay us. As we're approaching 23 minutes in. Wow. Is this the end of Huge Movie Phonetics Radio? Oh. It's kind of lonely here with just zeros. I'm seeing a possible listener. Welcome, possible listener. I was actually getting used to the idea of stopping this, so I had accepted the possibility that the show might end in a few minutes. But if we've got a chat contributor, the show can go on. But it's ironic that someone shows up 23 minutes into the thing, 24, when I'm pretty much talked out. Anything you'd like to share in chat? 24 minutes into the show, and this isn't a threat. I'm just letting you know I'm going to end the show in 30 minutes in if no one says anything in chat. That doesn't mean you have to say anything in chat. I'm just letting you know. Yeah, so if anyone's listening after the fact, obviously this is primarily a chat-driven show. That's the reason why I'm going to end it at the 30-minute mark, because, I don't, generally have a whole lot to say, especially now with the winter studio. Anything I've got to say, I can shoot in little videos and upload it and stuff like that. So I don't really have anything to say past 30 minutes of the radio show without any chat input. Wow. T-minus 5 minutes and counting till the end of the show this week. This will be a foist. Knowing my luck, someone will say something 29 minutes in. It's funny how, I've accepted the fact that I'll probably end the show only to have someone probably say something, and then I'll stay, and then I'll have to accept the fact that I'm going to stay. But I don't think anyone's going to say anything, so I'll probably go. Yeah, I don't really know what else to talk about. Uh, Matrix 4, huh? Okay. It looks like the Matrix 4 is basically going to be almost like a remake, like a sequel slash remake, kind of like Scream 4. It looks like a remake, sequel slash remake of The Matrix with pivotal characters like Morpheus and Mr. Smith. Is it Mr. Smith? It doesn't even sound right. Anyway, I think it's Mr. Smith. Agent Smith? Agent Smith. Replaced by new, younger actors, but obviously Keanu and what's her name? Carrie Ann Moss reprising their roles. Yeah, I don't think I'll venture out to the theater to see it. I'll probably blind buy the Blu-ray. And also, I didn't make my way out to see Ghostbusters Afterlife. I figure, fuck it, I'll just blind buy the Blu-ray. I'm seeing possibly 2 listeners. Just to let you guys know, if no one says anything in the chat, I'm out of here in like fucking 3 minutes because I've been talking to myself for the last 27 minutes, and it's kind of annoying with no chat input. So if no one says anything in 3 minutes, hasta la vista, baby. Makes me wonder if I should do the start time at 1 p.m. again, like I did when I started the show in the early months of the year. Couple listeners, but no chatters. Yep. Let's see here. 28 will leave 2 minutes. All right. Well, we're almost at 2 minutes of the show remaining if no one says anything. 3 listeners. And no one saying anything. Welcome, everyone. There's 2 minutes left if no one says anything in chat. I've been talking to myself for the last 28 minutes about nothing. This is, as people may or may not know, primarily a chat. Oh, God. We've got Austin at 28 minutes into the show. Oh, my God. Show starts at noon, people. Oh. Austin says, so did Halloween Kills suck? I don't know if I did a review on it, but maybe you don't want to watch my review and be spoiled. I actually would rather watch Halloween Kills than the Halloween 2018. But, it's hard to say if it quote unquote sucks or not. There's definitely sucky things about it, but I don't know if I could go so far as saying it sucks. I gave it 2 out of 4 stars, so I don't think I can go as far as saying it sucks, but there's sucky elements to it. So that's my take on Halloween Kills. And if you didn't know, I do have a 30-minute review of it that I did as well. Yeah, I guess Austin brings up a good point. He says some people are just waking up or at work at noon. That's true. I don't know. Yeah, I've been noticing since I started the show this in November that the first hour has been kind of slow. So maybe I should actually change start time to later. So you might have a point there, because the first few months of the show this year, January, February, March, and stuff, April, when I did finalize on a time, it was 1 p.m. So maybe I should go back to 1 p.m. because, as you say, people aren't necessarily up yet at noon, so we'll give that some thought. All right, well, Austin showed up, and I was just 2 minutes away from ending the show, 30 minutes in. Talked to myself about nothing for the first 28 minutes. Anything else you got, Austin? I since Austin hasn't seen Halloween Kills yet, I don't really want to spoil stuff by talking about it because, we live in the age of spoilers being such a dire thing that people want to avoid. They're just movies, people. They're just movies and TV. It's funny how people have put like movies and TV up on this pedestal that's just like, don't spoil it. I guess I've been that way in regards to some stuff too, but it's not like my world's gonna come crumbling down if someone spoils a movie or TV show. Austin says he got the Event Horizon Scream Factory Blu-ray and Pet Cemetery Blu-ray. You talking about Pet Cemetery 2 Scream Factory? Yeah, I pondered that because I actually much prefer Pet Cemetery 2 to the first film. I pondered that, but I didn't. I'll wait until it's out of print and pay $100 for it. Ha 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 ha. I don't watch Pet Cemetery 2 that often. I recently got a DVD and it does me just fine. Austin says, and those Mill Creek Blu-rays of When a Stranger Calls and the New Kids. Oh yeah, that's right. Austin confirms. He says, "Yep, the second Pet Cemetery, and it looks great. He thinks I should snag it." Yeah, I probably should, but I'll probably wait until it's out of print. Like with Scarecrows, I never got Scarecrows, by the way, because the DVD is probably the same scan, and it up converts well enough for me. Oh, does Austin? I was just talking, and trying to keep talking up to myself for 28 minutes before you showed up. I was just one of the things I talked about was a potential already out of print status of the Scream Factory Friday the 13th box set. Can you confirm that or not? Seems like currently it's not available. The reason that I brought it up is because I was just searching Friday the 13th posters on eBay, and the box set came up for like $250, and I'm like, holy shit, does that mean either someone's trying to scam people who don't know they can still buy it for cheaper, or it's out of print? And I go look, and it's currently unavailable, like at Amazon. So it's just like got me kind of freaked, like, oh my god, is it out of print already? Any info on that? Austin says he saw the box set on Scream Factory's site, so it's still in print. So you can still get it from them direct. Oh, okay. Well, that's a relief. I don't know if Austin knows. I already said it when he wasn't here, but I've got two of them, so I should be good. Austin says nothing significant is going out of print right now. He always checks on it. Okay, well, we can rely on Austin to keep us updated on what's going out of print. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. I'm really starting to think that I'll probably switch the start time to 1 p.m. again because fucking talking to yourself for 28 minutes is just like, ugh. Austin says just some old TV show sets going out of print, but that's it. Okay. Austin says, yeah, 12 noon is too early, apparently. Yeah, I think so. I think that's what happened the last time I did a show. Skipped last Thursday, but the Thursday before it was Thanksgiving, I think. Well, that's kind of different because it's this quote unquote holiday where people feel compelled to do holiday crap. But yeah, I think I've kind of felt that trend since I started the show. The reason it got switched from 1 to noon is because when in the spring when it warmed up, I was in the before I stopped doing the show for the summer, I wanted to start an hour early so I could do a 2-hour show and still head out on the bike and stuff. That's why it got switched in the first place from 1 to noon. But yeah, Austin says, how many copies of Evil Dead on VHS do I have total? I think just what I showcased, I would imagine I would have showed everything I got. So I guess four VHSs, everything that I showcased, I'm pretty sure. You're talking about just the original movie and then just the VHS. Yeah, I would have showed everything via Evil Dead VHS that I own and the original VHS of part two. I think I mean I used to have Army of Darkness, but I may have gotten rid of it when the DVD came out, which is stupid. I'm seeing a Dunkel. Yeah, I can't even pronounce that. He says, we'll just call him Dunk. He says, hi, sorry I haven't been able to comment anything, been busy. That's all right. Thanks for showing up. Welcome. Austin says, any Evil Dead VHS tapes you had once but don't have anymore? Yeah, just Army of Darkness. I may have I don't know for sure. I may have gotten rid of that, but if I have gotten rid of it, I used to have the original Army of Darkness release from '93. Austin has the Army of Darkness VHS and the Scream Factory Blu-ray. Yeah, I got that as well. Scream Factory Blu-ray, that is. I think Universal. I don't really keep up on 4K because I don't care. But Austin asks if Army of Darkness got a 4K solo release. It's possible Universal did it. I don't know. I'm not the wrong person to ask about 4K. Austin says Scream Factory and Arrow are 4K crazy now. Yeah, it was just a matter of time, wasn't it? By 4K crazy, I mean putting out 4K releases. And you got Vinegar Syndrome, I think, and Criterion just recently got into the 4K game with Citizen Kane. Austin's definitely going to get Scream K new Halloween 4K releases since it's only 5 movies. Okay, you can still stand Halloween 5, huh? That's okay. More power to you, to each their own. Yeah, I'm going to hold off on 4K as long as I can because at my age, I'm just sick of buying the same movies over and over and over. And I've stated several times that DVD, I was perfectly happy, or would be perfectly willing to have just had DVD be my movie viewing format for life. And I'm more than happy to have Blu-ray be the movie viewing format for life. And Blu-ray is just definitely clear enough for me. And anything, I'm so sick of the constant upgrading. Dunk says Arrow are releasing Don't Go in the House, right? Yeah, they're doing I think a UK only version, and I don't even remember is it Severin who's doing the upcoming Don't Go in the House Blu-ray in America, I think. Yeah, it would have been cool to get I'd probably rather get the Arrow one, but I think it's only for Region B. Austin says, well, Halloween 5 has the newly found deleted footage. Oh, are you getting it just for that? You can probably find that on YouTube. Austin says 4K is still very niche. I don't know anybody who has them. Yeah, most people I know don't even have Blu-ray. Of course, I don't really know anyone. It's interesting how people, on occasion show up in the chat who I've never seen comment on videos like Dunk here. Austin says he could just watch the deleted scene from Halloween 5 on YouTube, but he likes having a hard copy of footage like that. That's true. I hear you. He doesn't trust YouTube keeping it up, and he wants it for the 4K transfer as well. That's makes sense to me. That was brutal, though. First 28 minutes just talking to myself. I think it's official. I'll change the start time to 1. It's official. That was brutal. It's really nice when people show up in the first few minutes of the show. This was, I think, the longest it ever took for someone to say something in chat, a record. Just 2 minutes away. Austin said something when I was just 2 minutes away from ending the show. Isn't that something? Oh, okay. Dunk says I'm quite new to the channel. And I'd definitely pronounce the whole username if I could pronounce it. So Dunk's going to work for me. Well, welcome to the channel. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for finding the channel. You're in luck. Normally, throughout the course of the winter, the video output drops dramatically. This is the first winter where it's going to continue without a dramatic drop, and it might actually increase. I don't know if it'll increase dramatically, but it might actually increase. I was looking on eBay for Friday the 13th posters, and holy crap. Hold on a sec. The cost of Friday the 13th posters, like originals, has really skyrocketed since I was buying them. I got 3, 4, and 5 on eBay probably in, I don't know, 2012 or 2013. I don't imagine I paid any more than like 30 or 40 a piece for them. And now it's like you're lucky if you can find them for under 100. I'm glad I got them when I did. Dunk says, I've been really enjoying your VHS videos. Well, good. There's definitely more of those coming. I'm actually probably going to be doing the VHS, all the VHS releases of the Silent Night, Deadly Nights coming up. That'll be fun, just because it's that time of year. Trying to think, do I have any other? Oh, I could showcase the media release of To All a Good Night. And I've already showcased Silent Night, Bloody Night VHS. And I don't think I've never owned Christmas Evil on VHS. And I've never owned Black Christmas on VHS. So I think those are all the Christmas killer movies that I have on VHS. I'm glad you've been enjoying the VHS videos. Is that how you found the channel, with the VHS video? Austin says he wonders if the Halloween 2 4K looks any better. I know the new part 1 disc has the MBC cut and the extended cut on disc 3. Austin says, you think we'll get more Halloween home video releases? Not sure how you can top 4K. Well, I imagine, I don't know what the next K is going to be. Are they just going to go to skip to 8K? Like skip 6 and just go to 8, just double it? I mean, how much fucking, I mean, you're getting to the point where, the resolution, I mean, I thought that pretty much 4K is like film resolution. I mean, I don't know how much fucking resolution we need. Like, the resolution gets better and the movies turn to shit. It's like, wow, look at how clear this piece of shit movie looks. Is the movie good? No, but it's fucking clear. It's actually clearer than real life. Can you see in 8K? No, I can't. I can only see in 5K, but the movie's 8K. It's like, fuck. I just watched a VHS recently. Oh, that's another one I've got. Don't Open Till Christmas VHS I can show. We just watched that on VHS because that's the only thing I have it on. And it's just like, even watching VHS is fine with me. You'd think after DVD and Blu-ray, like VHS would just look like, Atari 2800 2-bit video game. But, VHS is actually still really very doable and actually very nostalgic. Dunk says, yep, first video I found was the Silent Night, Bloody Night VHS video. Okay, good. Well, then hopefully you'll enjoy the Silent Night, Deadly Night VHS showcasings that I hopefully can get up one of these days. Austin says apparently 8K can't be put on a disc from what I've read. Austin says most people can't even see in HD. Oh wow. Well, yeah, Beth is my girlfriend. She says she can't tell the difference between DVD and Blu-ray. So I'm like, okay, lucky. I mean, I can understand that because a lot of DVDs upscale really well. So I can actually understand that. But I'm also kind of this movie, video nerd, so obviously I can tell the difference between DVD and Blu-ray, but some stuff, some DVDs upscale really well, as I've said. Yeah, Austin says something that I agree with as well. He says Silent Night, Deadly Night 3 through 5 needs some Blu-ray upgrading. See, because in 2017, Scream Factory put out the first movie, and then it was 2018 they put out the second one. I was just assuming and hoping, quite honestly, for in 2019 a Scream Factory Blu-ray Silent Night, Deadly Night 3. And I was kind of disappointed when that never happened because I, for one, while the movie I don't think is really that great, I'd like to have a Blu-ray of that. And how cool would a Bill Moseley commentary be? I mean, that'd be fun. And anyone else they can gather up for the movie. So I agree with that. Um, 3 anyway. I mean, I don't know if I need 4 and 5 on Blu-ray, but I mean, there's probably some fans of 4. I don't see how, but I like 5. But 4 is like, in my opinion, the worst of the Silent Night, Deadly Nights. Austin can see a huge, not just a huge, but an all caps huge difference from DVD to Blu-ray. Austin says DVDs look blurry on a 4K TV, unfortunately, or maybe my eyesight is too good. Yeah, I'm worried. I'm worried about that. That's why I want to keep my 1080p TVs working as long as possible. I'm worried about 4K looking crap on, I mean, not 4K, DVD looking like crap on 4K TVs. But there's a guy in here, what's his name? If I'm understanding correctly, there's a guy who watches Laserdisc on a 4K TV, I think, unless I'm misunderstanding. Mr. I can't remember. Oh, Wade Wilson. Austin would like to see Full Moon take on 4K. Yeah, those poor guys. They're doing the best they can. You really got to give it to them. They've been trying to slowly upgrade their catalog to HD. I think that might be the end of the upgrades for Full Moon. I think by the time he'd have any pressure interest to do 4K, Charlie Band's going to be no longer with us, and I think the HD upgrade is the most highest quality upgrade we're going to get with the Full Moon movies, and it's fine in my opinion. It's definitely good enough. I'm glad they have upgraded so many of the Full Moon movies. I'm still waiting for Crash and Burn, and to me that's like one of my favorite Full Moon movies, and it's really a shame that Crash and Burn hasn't been upgraded. Even Seed People, but Crash and Burn would be my number one. How cool would it be to have a Charlie Band, Megan Ward commentary, and maybe even the guy who starred with her in the movie, and Bill Moseley for Crash and Burn commentary. Oh, how about this? Charles Band, Megan Ward, Bill Moseley commentary for Crash and Burn Blu-ray. Let's make it happen. Oh, how fun would that be? Yeah, I don't expect Full Moon to ever upgrade to 4K. Austin says these 4K TVs are only friendly with HD stuff, which kind of annoys me. Yeah, I know. I think a lot of TVs, if not all of them, don't even have inputs for anything other than HDMI, which really scares me. That's why I'm just gonna. Ugh, it scares me. Yeah, he says it's almost impossible to hook a VCR to a smart TV. Yeah, some smart TV. If it's so smart, why can't I watch anything I want to on it? Austin's surprised we even got Blu-ray with Full Moon. That's a good point. And it's kind of hit or miss. I've always said with the Full Moon Blu-rays, like Puppet Master 2, 3, 4, and 5 are pretty amazing, but I don't the images can look amazing, but the sound is always kind of dodgy. Like I've said this a bazillion times, the best way to hear a Full Moon movie is, the original VHS, or preferably the original like Laserdisc. That's the best way to hear the best quality sound of a Full Moon movie, because ironically some of these Blu-rays have worse sound than the VHSs. Austin says he was happy with the crappy VHS rips of Full Moon movies on DVD. Yeah, I hear you there too. I can remember when they were putting those out, and they didn't really. I think they were like technically copyrighted by Paramount or something like that. They didn't even have the rights to necessarily even be putting them out on DVD, and they did this scam thing where I've got this Charles Band 3 movie box set with, like, I can't remember what's on it, Crash and Burn and 3 other movies or something, and it's like it's pretending to be like an Australian import, like it says like Kangaroo Video. It's hilarious, and it was Charles Band's way of putting out Full Moon movies on Blu-ray and selling them in the U.S. that he didn't have a right to put on, not Blu-ray, DVD rather. Put out some of the old Full Moon movies on DVD in the U.S. without, when he didn't even have the right to do it or something like that. So Kangaroo Video, that because that's what a Australian home video label would be called after all. Kangaroo Video. That's so hilarious. For a while there, that Puppet Master DVD box set was a holy grail. And, when I eventually got it, I didn't pay a lot for it. When I eventually got it, I was kind of disappointed. Like, some of the quality of, like, I think Puppet Master 2 just looks like crap. And, oh my God. Yeah, Charles Band is definitely a kind of a scammer. Austin says he noticed the sound mixes are kind of strange on some Full Moon Blu-rays, but most sound fine. Yeah, the Robot Wars one was a bummer. I talked about that in my movie/Blu-ray review of Robot Wars that I did. I can't remember what the anomaly is, but it's got some sound anomaly on the Blu-ray of Robot Wars, which was a bummer, but it looks great. Then they had to replace some sound. I can't remember. I talk about it in my review. Austin says Puppet Master 2 was terrible on DVD because the movie would just start getting wavy at the end. I remember the whole thing being crap. I don't remember the wavy end, but yeah, that's what I remember too. He says Puppet Master 2 was the worst DVD, and he considers Puppet Master 2 one of the best in the series. Yeah, that's kind of what I was like too. It's like, oh yay, the one of my favorite ones looks the worst on DVD. That's great. I'm glad I didn't pay, astronomical amounts for that collection. Dunk says, I'd like to see Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things in 4K. It's never really had a high quality release in the UK. Oh, okay. So sounds like Dunk's in the UK over there. Yeah, well, one can hope. Personally, I'm not the hugest fan of that movie, but that's okay. Austin says, Dollman and Demonic Toys have a wave in some scenes in the blue. Oh, yeah, I talked about that in, I think, my Blu-ray review of either one of those. I had this like 1 or 2 second clip that I showed. I just put it on a loop to show that goofy ass. Yeah, I can't. I think the way I described it is like if you go to an amusement house amusement place, funhouse, and the mirror's like moving or whatever. You stand there and the mirror's moving or what? They got one of them goofy mirrors that makes your body morph and this and that. That's the only way I can describe how those Blu-rays are. They've got this funky ass thing to them, and I don't even know how how that even happened. Austin says Subspecies 2 and 3, Puppet Master 3 are some of their best Blu-ray blues quality wise. Yeah, I would add Puppet Master 4 and 5 as well. It's too bad the first one doesn't really hold up quality wise to the sequels on Blu-ray. It was like one of their, well, I think that was their first Blu-ray release, of course, because it's their most famous movie. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, good. He agrees. 4 and 5 look great too, he says. Any word on the new Blu-ray of Tourist Trap? Because I never got the original Blu-ray because, you know, I heard the stories of footage being missing. And then they were supposedly like did a new Blu-ray of Tourist Trap. Is that improved or is it still crap? I looked at the very beginning of Tourist Trap on Tubi, which one would assume is, you know, one of the HD versions, and I saw some anomalies like right at the end of that shot of that guy, you know, pushing the tire towards the diner, like the image went all fucked up like there was an earthquake or something. So I don't know if that was the original Blu-ray or the new Blu-ray. Does Austin have any input or facts on that? Because, you know, that's, I've never gotten the Tourist Trap Blu-ray or either of them because of my concerns over the butchering of it. Austin says Puppet Master was their first, and it does look mediocre, but it beats the DVD, though. That's true. And that was an occasion where I think you can actually see more on the sides of the image than you could on the original transfer. Austin says Full Moon released Tourist Trap uncut on Blu-ray, but have you seen it? Has anyone been able to confirm that it's uncut and not effed up in some way? Yeah, Austin says he watched the uncut Tourist Trap on Tubi and he didn't notice any defects. That shot where the guy's pushing the tire and the camera kind of pans with him as he walks away, and it's like right around the time where the diner comes into the shot, the frame like goes all over the place and twitches like big some kind of, it lasts like a second or something, and it's just some big huge F up. So yeah, I've always been afraid to get the Tourist Trap, either of the Tourist Trap Blu-rays. And for anyone who doesn't know, this is a very limited time offer, but I think between now and I don't know, Sunday, fullmoondirect.com, they're doing a buy one Blu-ray or whatever and get the second, or you know, if you want to get, you got to get two of them to get them at 50% off, or two or more to get them at 50% off or something. And I was pondering getting Crash and something else, but I don't think I will. Austin says the uncut HD version of Tourist Trap is fully uncut. He can confirm. Well, maybe I'll check out that version on Tubi and see if there's any more of those anomalies that I saw at the very beginning of it. Austin says, let me look at it again. How many minutes in the movie when that occurs? I don't know. Probably just, oh, yeah, probably not very many. It's right after the, you know, white on black credits and the guy's walking with the tires. So I'd say first 2 or 3 minutes, and the camera pans, and kind of when it seems to me like when he exits the shot, or right before he exits the shot, there's this anomaly. I can't really look at it myself right now as I'm doing the show. about an hour and 5 minutes into the show, which means if we're all lucky, 50 minutes of the show left. And I'll definitely make a news blurb where I'm going to announce the starting of the show moving forward at 1 p.m. versus this noon crap. Because, duh. Talking to yourself for 28 minutes and just trying to keep blabbing about nothing is really a pain. Dunk's got to go. See you soon. All right. Thanks for showing up. Oh, Austin says the scene's coming up. Anticipation. Look like we lost Dunk. It's just Austin and I. And once again, I do appreciate it when people actually say they're leaving. I think that's very internet courteous, chat room courtesy. They just, instead of just disappearing, they actually let you know that they're leaving. I think that's chat room courtesy. Austin says Tourist Trap was a great horror flick. The uncut version was my first time watching it, but I know what was cut from research. Okay. Oh, so if you haven't seen any version before the HD version, you might not understand the anomaly I'm talking about. If you just think it's a camera movement that's a part of the movie, then. Yeah, I've always thought that from all of the movies that Charlie Band produced, I think Tourist Trap, in my opinion, is the best movie that Charlie Band produced. I think I said this in my showcasing of the media VHS recently of Tourist Trap, that I mean, it'd be really cool. I think Tourist Trap is actually worthy of a Criterion release. I mean, there's so many worse movies on Criterion, like Chasing Amy and Armageddon, that I think are a lot worse than Tourist Trap. How cool would it be to have a Tourist Trap Criterion Blu-ray release? And I think, I mean, they put out some of this early David Cronenberg stuff, like The Brood, which I don't think is really that freaking amazing. Let's give show Tourist Trap some love and have a Criterion Blu-ray release of that. Austin says the uncut footage just does kind of dip, but it still looks HD to me, just in a different way. Okay, I'm on the tire part. So what defect am I looking for? Just I don't know, just as the guy is gonna exit the shot, it looks like the camera, like the frame just jerks around or something like that. Like the shot, it just jerks around briefly, like a second or something. It just looks like an anomaly that's not supposed to be there. Something like, looks like it's a transfer thing, but it could look also like the camera was knocked, and just like a big jarring. I can't describe it. Just the image moving all around spasmodically for a second. Maybe it was a streaming thing I encountered or something. I hope so, because it'd be nice if, that quote unquote uncut Blu-ray is free of anomalies. Anywho, first time I think I saw Dunk in the chat, which was fun. I can't tell what his little avatar is, and Dunk, I'd pronounce the whole name, but I can't. Dunk else. Yeah, good luck pronouncing that. The anomaly in tourist that's okay if you can't find it, if you don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Okay. So to Austin, it looks like how it was filmed, but he'd have to see the original video release. Yeah, obviously it won't be. It'd be. I mean, obviously it wouldn't stick out if you've never seen any previous home video version. Yeah, I think that's some kind of a transfer anomaly problem. I'll probably stream the whole thing on Tubi as well, maybe today or something, and see what the whole thing looks like. Oh, okay. Austin says, but at least the film is complete now. I guess that's true, but it'd be nice to have it complete and anomaly free. That sounds like the line from Trains, Planes. Yes, I agree. Austin says the shot was really weird. That's because that's not how the shot is. It's how it is in that Blu-ray version or the quote unquote uncut version. I don't understand how these anomalies happen with, these full moon HD transfers. It's just like you almost think you'd have to put effort in to some kind of a screw up like that. You'd almost have to deliberately do it. I tell you. Yep. I don't know. Anything else you got, Austin? I don't. If I can, I don't know if I can go for 48 more minutes. Kind of, what's that word? Demoralizing show today with the first 28 minutes of crickets, but what you gonna do? The internet is a dangerous place. Austin says Tubi has all of the Puppet Masters this month. Part 1 was never on there for a long while. He says we could go all day. Well, maybe you could. It seems to me like in past months you could find Puppet Master on Tubi, but it was like you'd have to search under. It was under Elvira. It was like an Elvira episode or something. Oh, Austin says Ghoulies on there too. Okay, good. I think for me the third one is my favorite. That's what needs a Blu-ray release, Ghoulies 3. And well, actually the perfect outfit for that would be the Vestron video series on Blu-ray. If that ever came out, would probably put that out. Yeah, Ghoulies 3 I think is fun and even got Kevin McCarthy in there and the chick from Crash and Burn. And yeah, I really like Ghoulies 3. You've got a nice amount of like TNA and that chick. I can't remember her name, but she was the girl in the waterbed in Nightmare 4, and she's in Slumber Party Massacre 3. Austin says Ghoulies 3 and 4 need blue badly. 4 is not all that good, but still film preservation. There you go. Must preserve shit. Austin has Ghoulies 1 and 2 double feature, blue, and 4 on full screen DVD. Yeah, I've got 1 and 2 double feature DVD and 3 on DVD full screen. I've never seen 4, but because it looks just horrible. Have you seen Ghoulies 3? I hope so. I just love the aspect of like the toilet in Ghoulies 3 actually is like molded ghoulie. It's like a porcelain. How the ghoulies are like characters are molded into the porcelain toilet. It's like a special toilet in Ghoulies 3. I think they did a fun job with Ghoulies 3. Austin says, "Yep, even shit needs preserving." And these days, with a plethora of shit, we just have to decide which shit are we going to preserve first. All right, I was going to say everyone, but all right, Austin, about 45 minutes of show left. Yep. Yes, sir. That's true. He says Exorcist 2 got a special edition and it's considered the worst movie ever. Yeah, well, that's probably just because of its name, you know? Exorcist. Ooh. Yeah, I'd much rather watch Ghoulies 3 than Exorcist 2. You know, Vestron video collector series has been continuously putting stuff out. So hopefully at some point we'll get Ghoulies 3. He says the quality on Tubi is nice. They must rip them directly from Blu-rays and DVD. Yeah. Yep, their quality is appreciated. Oh my God. He says he still needs to watch Ghoulies 3. You've never seen it? Wow. Yep. You need to see it. It's directed by John Carl Buechler, of course, of Friday the 13th Part 7 fame. And I think while not probably having as big of a budget, I think he does a pretty great job. It's tongue in cheek. You know, the ghoulies actually talk. I don't know if you knew that, but the little monsters talk. It's kind of like Three Stooges and Marx Brothers. Austin says a Vestron video collector series of Ghoulies 3 would be epic. Yeah. Oh, he says Ghoulies 3 is on Tubi. It'd be interesting to know if that's if it's a new widescreen version or if it's the old original full screen transfer. Oh, he already knew they talk in part 3. Okay. Gotcha. Wow, 2 whole listeners today. Mostly one. I don't know what this holds for the future of the show. Maybe interest is waning. Austin says Ghoulies has the best VHS art as well. Yeah, I can remember being a kid and seeing those classic covers in the video store before I was mature enough to actually. Oh, I think he meant Ghoulies 3 has the best cover art. Yeah, I agree with you. I like the Ghoulies 3. I've got the, I hope I still have it. I'm pretty sure I would still have it. I've got the original Vestron Video VHS. Yeah, see, back in the day, in the early 90s when that came out, that was new on video. I actually saw Ghoulies 3 before I even saw the first two. And then, so to me, I was introduced to talking ghoulies. So when I eventually saw the first and second one, I'm like, what the fuck? They don't even talk? I'm not a big fan of the first two at all. Oh wow, Austin's looking now and Ghoulies 3 is widescreen. Does it look like an HD version or the standard definition in widescreen? Because who knows, maybe it is like an HD version that never got put on the Blu-ray yet. He says not sure who put it in widescreen. Looks like Lionsgate did that. Yeah, one of those days. Yep, this is what's known as a lull. Austin says, kind of looks HD, but could be standard definition. It looks good though. Okay. I hope are you going to watch it someday? Hope you enjoy it. Yeah, maybe I'll take a look-see at it and see if, at a later time, and see if I can deduce whether it's HD or the original transfer just widescreen did. He says a lot better than the DVD releases. He says, yep, I'll watch it later. It's not going anywhere. How do you know that? Because it's not on the leaving soon section. I'm seeing a potential second listener. Welcome if you're here. Just me and Austin at this point, talking about, at this point, Ghoulies films, and me being a particular fan of the third one and not having seen the fourth one, and we lost them, so happy that way. He says Ghoulies 3 has been on here for a year and a half now, never went off yet. I wonder how they determine that. I guess it's all just predetermined licensing agreements, BS kind of crap. Oh, okay. Summerhill Cinema 700 is here. He says, hey, Nate and everyone. That's just me and Austin, but welcome. Yeah, see, if I started at 1, he would have showed up 24 minutes into it versus an hour and 24 minutes into it. So I know I've already decided, but this is, I'm really decided now. I'll switch the start times to 1 p.m. from now on. Welcome, Austin. What's on your mind today and up there in Canada? Have piles of snow yet? Austin says Ghoulies 1 and 2 look great on Blu-ray. The VHS tape of part 1 was rough. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen them on tape. The first two, anyway. Oh, Austin says the Lionsgate stuff tends to stay on Tubi permanently for some reason. If it's Warner or Fox, it goes off in a month. Huh. Okay, I'm seeing potentially 3 listeners now. Welcome, everyone. Just recently had Summerhill Cinema 700 join us. See what's going on. Looks like we lost the 3rd listener. See what's going on with Summerhill. He might be here just to listen, which is fine. Summerhill says the part of Canada I live in rarely gets snow, just rain. Oh, well, that's good. I guess that's good. That's interesting. Huh. Austin says the Arrow stuff is always on Tubi as well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Scream Factory scan of whatchamacallit, The Brain is on there. It's kind of a movie that's kind of cool. I like the atmosphere of The Brain. It's kind of a movie that if I ever watch it, I try to watch it around this time of year because while it's not a quote unquote Christmas horror movie, it definitely takes place around Christmas and you've got, Christmas decorations and stuff like that. So it's if I ever do watch it, I generally watch it this time of year. The Brain from 1989. I actually got the VHS of that. I should showcase. Austin says Tubi has been showing Silence of the Lambs a lot lately. Well, good for them. Has anyone ever heard of heard of Blood Salvage? I think that might be. I think that was on Prime a while back. Maybe it's on Tubi. Blood Salvage from the late 80s, early 90s. That's a little known movie. I've actually amazingly got 2 VHSs of that. I'll probably showcase those soon as well. Probably do the Silent Night, Deadly Nights first since it's that time of year. Summerhill says I heard Scream Factory is going to be releasing Alligator from 1980 on Blu-ray, which is a movie I've always wanted to check out but could never find. Well, that's cool. Yeah, it seems to me there's some actor in that movie who I don't know if he was joking, but considers it one of his favorite movie experiences on a movie. It might have been a joke, but yeah, I've never seen Alligator either, and might definitely be worth checking out now on Scream Factory Blu-ray. Um, I guess if Austin or not Austin, Summerhill would be interested in showing or sharing a brief, assuming you've seen King Kong 76, a brief, brief thoughts on King Kong 76 if you'd like. You may have not even got around to seeing it yet, but I know that you saw, I think you've got the Blu-ray. So I'm curious to know what you thought about it briefly if you've seen it, if you'd like to share. Austin says, I don't see the brain on there. Huh. Maybe it went away, or maybe I guess it could have been Amazon. I don't know where I saw it. Wade Wilson's here. He says hi. There's only 30 minutes left, Wade, but that's okay. I'm gonna actually switch the start time to 1 p.m. because people don't really show up until the second hour anyway. So I'm gonna switch the start time to 1 p.m. because if I'd started at 1, then people would be showing up now. And yeah, anyway. Austin says the borrower got a Scream Factory release. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that movie. Wade says, "Is this the brain I have on Laserdisc?" I think so. It's the one that should be back when the home video was the IVE. Oh, okay. Summerhill says he watched King Kong 76 a long time ago, but haven't watched the new Blu-ray yet. I'll give it a watch soon and do a video. Okay, good. Yeah, curious to see what your thoughts are on it. The Blu-ray looks freaking amazing. So, and the TV version is so goofy how it just how they just it's just kind of weird that they filmed so much. It's just goofy seeing this movie that's already kind of on the longish side, even just longer. Oh, Austin says all the Scorpion King movies are on Tubi. Well, good. Except part one. Thanks for that info about Scorpion King movies. I've got this VHS here by the name of Killer Party. It's on Key Video. Anyone ever heard of Killer Party? I should almost watch this. I can't remember it at all. Killer Party on Key Video. Wade says, I swear I used to have a download DVD copy of The Brain where in one scene it sounds like the actor farted on my Laserdisc version. I don't think I hear that sound. Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe they cut it out of one version and maybe that did happen and they cut it out of one version. Austin says Alligator 1 and 2. Oh, both alligators are getting the Scream Factory release. Okay. Wade says, I've seen Killer Party several times, and each time I forget about it, so it must be easily forgettable. Probably not a great horror movie. I remember bits and pieces of it. Okay. That could be why I don't remember anything about it as well. What about I didn't get any feedback on Blood Salvage? Anyone ever heard of Blood Salvage? It's kind of a little known title, really. It used to be on Prime, but I don't know if it's on Prime anymore. Austin says Slumber Party Massacre 2 and 3 need a re-release on Blu-ray, that's for sure. Yeah, it's too bad what happened to that release. Like it just I'm assuming it must be rights issues or something that made that, go out of print so quickly. Wade isn't calling Killer Party the worst horror movie, since I wouldn't mind going back to revisit it, but it's mostly because I forgot most of it. That's the good thing about forgettable movies is you can see them for the first time over and over again. Austin says, I remember Killer Party with the killer wearing a deep sea dive suit and a drill. Wow, I don't remember anything about that. Wade says, I also love 80s horror movies by default because of the clothes and music. Yeah, that's true. Austin says, is The Rift any good? I don't know what year is The Rift from. I can't say I'm familiar with it. About 25 minutes remaining. Yeah. Yeah. I was about to repeat something that I've already said a bazillion times today. I'm definitely changing the start time to 1 p.m. I'll let everyone know. Austin's only problem with Tubi is the horror section has too many modern 2000s movies, needs more 20th century. Yeah, I know. So many of them stupid, you know, computer generated, dumb, stupid covers. I know. I'm not interested in any of that crap, from 2018. I'm right with you there. Wade says, you know what's going to happen once you change it. No one will show up at all. Oh, he's talking about the changing the start time. Yeah, well, that'll probably happen. He's got a big smiley face. But since I started this fall, the show again, the trend does seem to be where like people, I don't know, more people show up after 1 p.m. than before. So we'll give it a shot next time, starting at 1 p.m. I don't know. Interest in the show could be waning too. Who knows what the hell it is? It could be all kinds of factors. And it's like the quote unquote holidays. So maybe people are compelled to be out shopping or who knows what. Austin says the Rift is from 1990. CGI covers are not attractive. Yeah, just that Photoshop cheap ass, just stupid CG. I mean, I guess I would imagine all covers are created in the computer, but it doesn't mean they have to look like they are. Austin says, although some 2010 movies do use hand drawn art like you'd see in the 80s, yeah, that's always fun. Yeah, I've never seen The Rift. Wade asks, what's the best Child's Play movie? Is it the first or second? The second introduces Kyle and giving Andy a sister is interesting. Well, for my money, the first is hands down the best Child's Play, but um I don't know between the second best. I mean, there's things, like you say, the kind of the older sister for Andy is interesting. I'd probably rather watch 3 than 2 though. But 2 and 3 are kind of a tie for me, but for me, the first Child's Play is hands down the best. I love the Chicago winter atmosphere of it, but it's just the best one in my opinion, but an interesting question. And then, as I said, 2 and 3 are kind of even, and those I only really like the first 3 Child's Plays. Oh, Wade says, I think there are more kills in Child's Play 2 as well. Probably. Yeah, the first one wasn't so much about body count. It was about the slow progression, of seeing Chucky do this or that or whatever. But Austin says Jack Frost is on here. I'm assuming he means Tubi. Yeah, I think that's true. Wade says some creative deaths. I'm assuming he's talking about Child's Play 2. How epic was that first kill in the first movie, though, when he hits her in the hammer and she goes kind of very unrealistically goes flying out the window, though. That was kind of cool. Splat. Austin says, I watched Tales from the Hood 2. Terrible movie. Yeah, well, I don't doubt it. Can't say I've seen it. Wade says, I have Jack Frost on DVD, the 4:3 frame, so it shows more of the top and bottom, but cuts off more of the right and left. It's nicer for the Shannon Elizabeth shower scene. Oh, okay. That's true. Austin says, I noticed Life Force is always on too. But yeah, that's one that I've seen, but can't remember. I don't watch it very often. Summerhill says, Vinegar Syndrome released the soundtrack for Slaughterhouse from 1987 on cassette, which is very exciting. It was a soundtrack that I've wanted for a long time, but never thought it would get a release. Yeah. And his comment ends there, but I could imagine he never thought it'd get a release at all. And if it did, probably not a cassette release. That's a bummer. Is it cassette only? Probably to be like retro 80s. Yeah, Summerhill might not even have a cassette player. Do you have any interest in getting that cassette soundtrack, or what's your thoughts on that? Austin says Tubi also has lame 2000s movies like The Eye with Jessica Alba. Yeah, it's a bummer. Wade says, do you find it interesting to watch movies in both widescreen and 4:3 because the movie feels like a different movie, seeing it in a different way? Maybe not so much, but maybe back when you had when some of the DVDs first came out, they had like widescreen and the full frame. Not so much anymore. I guess I just as soon fill the the 16 by 9 screen these days. Well, except for Evil Dead. That Blu-ray I watched the 4:3 ratio because that's how the movie was intended. But I hear you. So I guess in that case, I guess I am doing I mean, it's hard to say if something was like formatted for the 185 or something, I'll just watch that version. But I think Evil Dead is an example. And same with like Basket Case, but Basket Case never got a 185 home video release ever. But those low budget 16 millimeter movies, I do the 4:3 if I've got an option. Oh wow, Austin says Tubi has the first Faces of Death now. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. So is that stuff fake or what's the story on that stuff? Do we know? Summerhill says, "Oh, it comes with the soundtrack on cassette comes with the digital download as well." Well, that's great. And he has a CD/cassette player, but much prefer CDs. And I did order it during the Vinegar Syndrome sale. Oh, cool! I bet you'll be doing a video showcasing it for us, I would imagine. That's my way of asking Summerhill if he'd do a video showcasing the cassette. That's cool. Well, it's really cool. It's got a digital download of it as well, because then you can have the best of both worlds. Yeah, I mean, I would have just as soon have a CD versus a tape, but I think it's their way of being like 80s retro. Austin says, I noticed something strange. Tubi has an uncut version of Silent Night 3. Yeah, it could just be a screw up, but maybe it's not. Who knows? That's kind of intriguing. Makes me wonder if there's truly more of it or if it's just they screwed up on the rating. Wade says, I have Evil Dead 1 and 2 on DVD. I believe my sister and her husband gave me their DVD collection. I believe they both are 4:3 frame. Also was given Return of the Living Dead 2, the 4:3 on DVD. Yeah, I think I remember you getting their DVD collection. Austin says Faces of Death is supposed to be real and fake, but the filmmakers or whistleblowers claim most of it is real. So I don't know. There's a lot of debate about it. Okay. I guess we'll never know. Wade says Return of the Living Dead 2, I believe, was goofier than the first movie, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I don't think I've seen the second one of those. Ooh! Well, we might just be nice and go an extra 30 minutes or something since people fucking showed up. It's so be stupid to bail on people now that there's actually conversations going. Wade says it was more slapstick comedy in the second movie, probably closer to something like Evil Dead. Oh, I see. Or Evil Dead 2. Wade says the first movie had more serious tone from what I remember. Austin says, yeah, the Silent Night 3 has the uncut kill when the nurse gets her throat cut by the scalpel. You see the blood pouring out of the neck in one shot. So you just saw that now? Holy shit, that's like a big deal then. It almost sounds like yeah. Is it in like a widescreen HD scan or what are we talking with Silent Night, Deadly Night 3? So he says you can see the blood pouring out of the neck, her neck in one shot on the DVD just cuts away on wall splatter. Well, that might be a small cause for small amount of celebration. Uncut Deadly Night 3 on Tubi. Wow. Are you just confirming this now just by watching it, or is it widescreen, or what is it? Oh, okay. So he said, Austin says, yep, just saw it, and it's still full screen. Well, maybe I'll have to check that out. Thanks for the heads up. I'm assuming he's like flipping through Tubi during the show. Yeah, Austin says, not sure where Tubi got this version. Me either, unless, makes you wonder what else is uncut. Well, that's kind of cool. I think Austin confirms that he's in fact flipping through Tubi and listening to the show. Makes sense because there's nothing to see with Huge Movie Fanatics Radio, so you might as well look at something while you're listening. Wade says, what the heck? We gotta rip it off their website, big smile. Yeah. That's kind of like a very, very minute big deal, like Uncut Deadly Night 3. It's just like they just slip it under the radar. Huh. Wonder if there's anything else that's restored. Problem is, I'm not so familiar with the movies, so even if I did see like new footage like reinserted, I don't know if I'd even be able to tell. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm definitely starting at one next week. C snaps. He says, "Hey Nate, hey guys. Oh my God. See, if I started at one, I'd only be 49 minutes into the show. Okay, it's official." He says, "Did you see the trailer for the new Netflix Chainsaw Massacre?" No, I didn't. What's the word? Is the trailer on YouTube, I would imagine? Does it look like shit or good? Wade says, Austin, what's the timestamp on Silent Night 3 on Tubi TV? Oh, for that scene? Welcome, C-Snap. What's the word on that trailer? He says it's on YouTube. Looks okay-ish. Who knows? Okay. What's it called? You know how they called that 3D movie Texas Chainsaw? Well, in the theater it was Texas Chainsaw 3D, but on home video it's Texas Chainsaw. It'd be funny if they called it Texas. Like every time they do a movie, they cut out one of the words. They just keep hacking the words off, and then the next movie is just going to be T until eventually it's just T. I'm actually going to look at it with no sound. What am I doing? Oh, what's it called? Oh, it's called the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Has the original producer involved. Are we talking about Kim Hinkle? Okay, I'm just gonna watch it, with silent. Just take a look, see. It looks like 3 days ago, 4 days ago. Just gotta make sure it's. So C-Snap says, yeah, must be Kim Hinkle. I guess with Toby Hooper gone, Kim Hinkle's gonna milk the franchise. Let's take a look, see. So this will be Kim Hinkle's first foray into it since his Next Generation Return of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The Face of Madness returns in 2022. Reaches into the hole in the wall and grabs a chainsaw, clunks down into the shot. Yeah, it's interesting. It's got kind of the Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes. Does he direct it? I'm not looking at chat right now. Oh, that's kind of cool. She's under the floorboards and he's chasing her with Okay, yeah, February 18th. So I just looked at the trailer and there's no sound and a really small screen. I'd say that looked kind of promising based on the no sound and the really small screen. It visually had the feel of Return to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So let me look at chat here. I wonder if Kim Hinkle directed it or is just producing it. But it looked promising to me. The thing with the girl, being under the floorboards and him, running the saw, that was kind of cool idea. Austin says, so thanks, C-Snap, for the heads up. That I didn't know about that. That was cool. Austin says Wade Wilson timestamp is at 27 minutes 35 seconds. Austin says also Silent Night 3 looks better on Tubi than on DVD, almost HD. He says, I want this version on disc. Yeah, me too. C-Snap says it might be okay, but meh, don't really care for remakes, etc. I hear you on that, but nothing can be worse than that last Chainsaw movie by the name of Leatherface that came out. That was a bummer, wasn't it? Wade says, you are right. Austin, I don't remember that kill in the version I've seen. I watched a high-def Blu-ray web rip a couple years ago, and I don't remember that scene. I remember it cutting away. Austin says, not sure if the rest of Silent Night 3 is uncut on Tubi. I need to research what was cut and compare. Well, I'll probably be maybe watching it tonight. That's really interesting news. So is it like on the cover art on Tubi? Is it like have the word uncut, like Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, like uncut? It must, because you were mentioning that before I think you even started watching it. That's just kind of like a small, depending on how much has been reinserted into it and the possible better image quality, it's like a small big deal. Would that be a medium deal? I don't know. Wade says the Kindred Blu-ray is coming out soon, but I don't have the money to buy it. It's about 50 to 60 bucks. Why the fuck? I think I remember you saying that before. Why the fuck is it so much money? All right, so because people don't show up until like the second hour, I'll be nice again and we'll go past, because it's like 3.5 minutes away from the 2 hour mark. This is where people, like with Thanksgiving, always show up. So we're going to go longer because the first 28 minutes of the show, no one was here. So we'll go longer, whether it's 30 minutes or an hour longer, I don't know, but it'll be max hour longer because I can't bail on everyone now that they're actually here. And for everyone listening now and after the fact, all the other shows are going to start at 1 p.m. Central Time. Austin says the cover art of Silent Night 3 on Tubi is the same VHS cover art and it doesn't say uncut. Oh, it actually lists it as the R-rated cut. So the way you knew it was uncut is by watching that kill and seeing additional footage. I see. Wade says, I have no idea, but there seems to be a lot left in stock still at the main website. Not shocking at that price. Oh, he's referring to why the hell that movie is 50 and 60 bucks. Yeah, that's absurd. That's absurd. C-Snap says, love the Kindred, but 50 bucks is mental money for it. I don't understand. Who's putting that out? Did he say who's putting it out? No, he doesn't say. Who is that? That's just a normal Blu-ray. I mean, I know that like Blue Underground is charging that for 4K discs, but we're talking just normal Blu-ray. Who's gonna pay that? Wade has the Laserdisc for about 20 or 30 bucks off of the Kindred back in the past. He says he's good with my Laserdisc release since it still looks good. I'm interested in high def. If I'm interested in high definition, I'll download a rip of it. There you go. Fuck this 50 and 60 bucks. Austin says, yep, I was just watching it one day and noticed the extra gore. Okay. That's like a small, big deal. Uncut Deadly Night 3, but who knows? Maybe that's the only thing added back into it, but I guess it's better than nothing. Yeah, we definitely need that on Blu-ray. As I said earlier in the show, I was hoping in 2019 Scream Factory would put that out on Blu-ray because they did the first the 2 years prior. Wade says Synapse Films is releasing Kindred for $50 plus shipping and tax. I just don't get it. I don't get it. All right, everyone, we're approaching the 2 hour mark, which usually I end, but because people don't show up until almost pretty much halfway through the second hour, we will go for at least 30 minutes more. C-Snap says, I think they blew the budget of The Kindred by having Rod Steiger in it. Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah, sometimes the names aren't worth the money. Austin says, I'll watch the rest of Silent Night 3 and see if anything else is there. I'll let you know later. Yeah, you can put it in the comments of any video. I'd appreciate that. I might watch it tonight anyway, but perhaps you would know what if additions there are that I wouldn't know anyway. So I appreciate that. Wade says that's why so many are still left in stock and it's a limited release. I can't believe, yeah, don't you love these multiple conversations? Yeah, gee, no one's buying our limited release of The Kindred for $50. Man, these places really think they're really trying to gouge people. Price gouge. Jesus. Wade says, well, if any of you have $60 to burn, you can buy Kindred from Synapse Films on Blu-ray. It releases December 14th. Looks like plenty are left in stock. Yeah, I wonder why. Oh, yeah. C-Step says, any fans of Extro? I think you ask that every now and then. I've reviewed it back on this channel years ago. I can't say I'm a huge fan of it, but have you seen my review of it? Probably have. Can't say I'm a huge fan of it, but that's okay. Wade says 3,500 limited release for the Kindred. Yeah, they've probably got like 3,497 left. CSAP says, I think I did mention it before. Oops. It's you don't have to say oops, but you can ask things more than once, but not more than twice. Yeah, just not a huge fan. I take it you're a fan of Extro. That's okay. One thing I will say about it, I talked about this in my review of it, the way they did that Alien where they had the guy in the suit kind of bent over backwards with the head on backwards, that kind of freaked me out. A really simple technique that was kind of like, oh my god, by turning a man's body into something different looking. Interesting. Wade says, wasn't there an uncomfortable pregnancy scene in Extro? Oh, I might have remembered that too. And C-Snap says, yeah, there was. I'm pretty sure I like watched it off of the internet way back when or something and reviewed it way back when. I know is there like two or three of them? Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they lower the price on that Kindred if they don't sell any. That's absurd. CSAP says Jan Michael Vincent was in Extro 3. He was pissed drunk throughout the film. Was that the guy from Robot Wars? Yeah, he seemed like he was a lush. And he's directing Tremors movies now. Am I thinking of the same guy or am I different guy? Shit, I might be thinking of a different. Oh, Airwolf. Okay, yeah. So it's oh, okay. Stringfellow Hawk. Okay. Let's see here. Austin says they put the Scream Factory transfer of Silent Night 1 on Tubi. Well, that's fun. Is it R-rated or unrated? Wade says Extro is an interesting movie from what I remember. Obviously not a great film, but it had a bunch of weird stuff in the movie. I like that they took risks even if it's not a great film. Yeah, you got to give a movie props for doing great risks, and CSNAP reminds us that Jan Michael Vincent died years ago. That's true. Anyone who was growing up in the 80s like myself knows that face from pretty much Airwolf, if nothing else. But as I'd come to find out when I got that Mill Creek 3 DVD or 3 Blu-ray set, or actually, I can't remember if they're all on, they might all be on one disc, but those 3 movies that one of them has that White Line Fever with Jan Michael Vincent. So he was actually in movies in the 70s and stuff. So kind of a classic face from back in the day. Yeah, it seems to me all 3 of those movies are probably on one disc. I was amazed. I do a review of each of those movies on that disc, and the picture quality. I couldn't believe how good the picture quality on all those 3 movies are from being on one disc. Austin says they put both cuts of Silent Night on Tubi. I've never seen the R-rated cut, so I may watch that. Yeah, that's you're gonna be disappointed. They cut a lot out of that, but it'd be fun just for shits and giggles to watch the unrated or the R-rated one. That's cool that they're both on there. Anyone ever seen? I reviewed it on the channel years ago. The stupid remake by the name of Silent Night. I wouldn't recommend it at all. It's one of those like what's that called? Jack Frost, where it's like supposed to be in a winter like snowy place, but they have to fake the snow, and it's just like give me a break. It's simply called Silent Night. It's like the quote unquote Silent Night, Deadly Night remake is just stupid. Wade says, how is Tubi allowed to show all these movies on their website? Did they obtain the rights to these movies, or this is this website bending the law? I would imagine it's all legal shit. I would imagine they're all, they, you know, bought the rights or cleared it. I would imagine it's legit, but who cares? It's not our movies that are being shown. We should just be glad they're doing it. I got to see Spit on Your Grave Deja Vu for free, which I'm very grateful for. I would have really been pissed if I would have paid money to see that. I don't mind, when the ads come up, I just hit mute and just kind of not pay attention until I don't even mind the commercials. Just to be able to see these movies for free is cool. Thank you, Tubi. Wade's gonna call the cops on Tubi. Anyone go watch Crash exclamation point on Tubi after my review? Probably not. Oh. Wade says those Spit on Your Grave movies are all disgusting and have very uncomfortable scenes in them. I think we can all agree on that. Kind of realistic, but uncomfortable nonetheless. Well, the thing about like the original movie from 78 that I think helps take the edge off the rape scenes is the absurdity of them, like the way the guys act kind of for me takes the edge off them, and it's so over the top that it's not real. So, in my opinion, Austin says Deja Vu was a strange watch, referring to I Spit on Your Grave, Deja Vu, I would imagine. It's funny watching the newer trailer of, or some of the, I think it's the newer trailer of Matrix 4. I think that word is mentioned as well, deja vu, and it's like almost like kind of like, oh, I'm surprised they didn't call it the Matrix Deja Vu. Then we would have been like, oh, Mirzi Archie started a trend. There was something else that was a trend that I noticed. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, I can't remember if I talked about it before today on the show before people showed up or not. I don't know. By this time into the show, I've got a mush mind. But yeah, there was some other kind of a Oh, I know what it was. It's the Boba Fett. Um, it's like called from the book of something, from the book of Boba Fett or something, and it's like right after Spiral from the book of Saw. I'm like, what? What's all this from the book of all of a sudden? Austin says Wade Wilson. I guess he says saying this to Wade. Spit on Your Graves 2 remake version is probably the most disgusting one. So the sequel to the remake, or what are we talking about? The remake or the sequel to the remake? Boy, can't get more confusing than that. C-Snap says watch Tales from the Crypt 72 anthology horror. There's a story in it about a psycho Santa with Joan Collins' great short story. Yeah, I can remember that and liking that as well. I recently, I think I can't remember if I think the guy who I started this channel with, Matt, lent me his VHS. I've since got it on DVD, but I never watched it. I can remember liking that segment. So good call there. Looks like Matt Haggerty just woke up at, I would imagine it's 3 p.m. over there where he is in the East Coast. He just woke up. Welcome, Matt. Yeah, good call there, C Snap. Austin says, "Yep, the sequel to the remake." Okay, I think I've got that on DVD, but I haven't watched it. I think we can watch all of the three remake Spit on Your Graves on Tubi, though, can't we? Austin says there's like two sequels to the 2010 remake. Yeah, I Spit on Your Grave 2010, and then 2 and 3 come after. Um, So once again, welcome, Matt. Basically, oh, get it? Welcome, Matt. Oh, that's funny. I think I said that before, but I've decided once again, I've said this already, but the noon start time is too early. I'm going to starting the show at 1 p.m. again because the first 28 minutes of the show I was just talking to myself, and people don't seem to show up until after 2 or 1 or 2. So once again, we're doing a kind of a extended show this week because I feel like, well, what's the point of ending the show after people finally show up? Wade says, "Did you see Gutter Balls? The forced scene in that movie is goofy and unrealistic. However, that entire movie is supposed to be goofy." I can't say I've seen Gutter Balls. Is that some bowling movie? Wade says, "Less comfortable for me because of how goofy it comes off." What time did Matt go to bed last night then? Yeah, I can remember being like in my 20s and waking up at 3 p.m. Oh, I try not to do that anymore. During the winter, it sucks because you get like 90 minutes of sun or daylight. Not the way to spend winter, in my opinion, but I can also understand in depressing times how one gets into that sleep schedule. Matt says no need for sun. Well, that's true this time of year in the northern hemisphere. It doesn't really do much good anyway. Actually, it's actually more annoying this time of year because if the sun's out during the day, it's like in your eyes all fucking day. So I actually prefer cloudy days during the winter because the sun's like reflecting off everything in your eyes. So I guess maybe there is an advantage to waking up at 3 p.m. Wade says, if I remember correctly, it is almost parodying The Accused with a scene on a pinball machine. Yeah, I can't say I'm familiar with The Accused right now, but Mind Mush, 2 hours and 15 minutes into the show. C Snap says the chick on the poster for the 1978 Spit on Your Grave was Demi Moore. Yeah, I was going to say that. I thought you were going to say she's hot. But I just found that out because that documentary that's called Growing Up with I Spit on Your Grave, made by the director's son, is also on Tubi, and I watched that recently. And yeah, I can see that being Demi Moore. Matt says, "Be right back." Wade says, "The Accused is the Jodie Foster movie where she is forced." Okay, yeah, I can't say I've ever seen that. I don't really like, yeah. Haven't seen The Accused personally, but that's okay. Yeah, I that was kind of cool to finally find out whose ass is on the poster I Spit on Your Grave. C-Snap says, yeah, Leo Rossi from Halloween 2 was the rapist in The Accused. Oh, God. Okay. I'd say about, let's see here, 43 minutes of show left. I'm never gonna go past 3 hours again. That's just mind killery. C-Snap says Extremities was a similar film, revenge flick with, I think he's, oh, okay, Farrah Fawcett. Extremities, that's a good title. That makes me think of the original Chainsaw. People's extremities. C-Snap says he agrees with Wade about something. Oh, Wade says Leo Rossi was the scummy character in Halloween 2, correct? Okay, I missed that. Why do you call him scummy? Just because he wants some? I mean, that's a natural male urge. Amazing Grace. Don't make me cry. I need your pie. What are you all messed up about? Where you going, college boy? No, C-Snap says Michael Myers drowns him in the hot tub. No, he strangles him and drowns the woman in the scalding hot water. It's so funny how that couple, the guy seemingly gets off pretty easy, and the woman has this horrible, torturous death where she's not only being drowned, but her face is being scalded in boiling water. C-Snap says, ha ha, I think you know Halloween 2 well, Nate. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I mean, that's a movie that I idolized when I was 12. I just thought Halloween 2 was the best movie in the world when I was 12. So I'm pretty familiar with it. Austin says that hot tub scene in Halloween 2 was brutal. Wasn't it so funny how easily the guy got killed, and then I come into the room, not like I'm Michael, and Michael comes into the room and just brutalizes the woman. Oh, God. Austin says scalding water hurts like hell. That scene is no joke. Wade says, "What did you think of the force scene in Halloween remake by Rob Zombie?" So when you say forced scenes, are you talking about rape scenes, I'm assuming? Is that scene uncomfortable or just goofy again? I think it's a mix. I think it's uncomfortable and goofy. I think that was mostly shit. I think it was mostly uncomfortable. If we're talking about the rape scene in the unrated version of Rob Zombie's Halloween, it was just despicable and didn't need to be there. That was more disturbing than the stuff in I Spit on Your Grave. That's just loathsome trash, in my opinion. C Snap says Halloween 2 is a great sequel. I've always liked it. I can only assume you're talking about the one from 1981 because when I see the capital H in the 2, it makes me think of Rob Zombie's. But I'm assuming you're talking about the 81 film. C Snap saw Rob Zombie's Halloween once, can't remember it, didn't like it at all. Did C Snap see Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 at all? Oh, my back. Is anyone gonna go watch Crash exclamation point on Tubi? It's not very good. Austin says the theatrical cut of Rob Zombie's Halloween has no rape. Yeah, that's the cut to watch. That I think that scene was just crap. Just that was just crap. Wade says you should check out the stupid, not needed, forced scene in Rob Zombie's Halloween. C Snap. Doesn't Rob Zombie put those weird forced scenes in his movies? I think it's in that other movie by him. Yeah, see, I'm not a big Rob Zombie fan, so I wouldn't know. Let me just put this out there and see what response I get, if any. So the next radio show, what time is it going to start Central Time? I'm just curious if anyone has the correct answer. C Snap says, "Yeah, wait, I might recheck it out I only liked the Devil's Rejects." Austin says, "I like Rob Zombie's Firefly family films, but that's it. The rest of his stuff sucks." Okay. All right, everyone, we're approaching 35 minutes of show left. I swore I'd never go over 2 hours again, but it's what you got to do if I start an hour too soon, which, as you all know, I'm not going to do anymore. But I'll check out that chainsaw trailer with sound later, and I think it's got to be better than that Leatherface movie from 2017 or whenever the hell it was. What a disappointment that was. Austin says, yeah, I noticed the stream picked up at 1. Yeah, that's when I should be starting them, so I'm going to. C-Snap says, okay, Nate / guys, got a split. See y'all next week. Thumbs up. Joe, thanks for showing up. Show starts at 1 p.m. Central Time next week. Wade says Rob Zombie is remaking something again. I forget what it is, but I hope it doesn't suck. I'm sure it will. Rob Zombie's Child's Play. Oh my God. Wade says he's remaking The Munsters. Okay, well, whatever. Wade says, is he going to give it a horror spin or is it just going to be a comedy only like the show? Yeah, I'm sure it'll be rated R horror fest. I can't imagine him doing anything that's not ghastly, grisly rated R. Who the hell knows? Austin says, I can't believe he's doing Munsters. Is it going to be R-rated? Probably. Austin says he was going to do The Blob, but thankfully that didn't happen. Yeah. Wade says, are we going to get a Munsters forced scene? Probably are. Oh, man. Yeah. Yep. Rob Zombie's forced scene, the motion picture. Austin says Hellraiser is getting a Hula remake. Do you mean Hulu? Does anyone know about the Slumber Party Massacre remake? I'm debating on doing a review, but I'm so disappointed in it. I almost don't want to even acknowledge it exists, but I actually watched it and it's just disappointing beyond words. Anyone see it? Austin asks if I've seen the Matrix Resurrections trailer. Yeah, I have. I think I talked about it on here when you were here talking about, or maybe it was before in the 28 minutes before anyone showed up. But to me, it just seems like a remake, a sequel slash remake. Like it's like just how Scream 4 was almost kind of a loose remake of Scream. Like it seems like the same thing, where it's gonna it's technically a sequel, but it's gonna just almost be kind of a remake sequel slash sequel. Austin asks if I've seen Scream 5 trailer. Yeah, I've seen that, and thought some of the lines were cool, but overall, I don't think I'm too care too much about Scream anymore. I mean, everything is pretty much hopeless these days, in my opinion. So it's kind of like I say this every time. Like I don't have much hope for movies or that are being produced and released now. It's mostly all disappointment. Austin says, I can't believe they remade Slumber Party Massacre. Not really interested in a remake. It doesn't need it. Yes, steer clear. I'm still debating whether or not to do a video on it. I guess if nothing else, I could do a quick video saying saying steer clear of it. But at the same time, I almost hate acknowledging its existence. So I don't know what I'm going to do about it. Austin says Matrix 4 does look like a remake. And let's face it, so many movies have done so many like slam bang, flashy, amazing visuals by now that you can't, Matrix used to be the movies for like the amazing effects and visuals and stuff, but it's like Matrix can't compete with. I mean, every movie is doing those kind of visuals and stuff now. So the Matrix kind of Matrix-esque stuff, I don't know if they can make it wow anymore because it's so old fashioned. Wade says Rob Zombie's Halloween remake is awful. Wasn't Michael bullied and had a motive for his killings? That he was abused as a kid or something like that? I forgot. Yeah, his household, his mom's boyfriend was an asshole. He was bullied at school. It was horrible. I thought it was so pathetic when I saw that. I was so pissed. I thought it was so stupid. The scary thing about Michael Myers in the original movie is you don't know why he killed. And to lay it all out in the remake is just like pointless. It's a joke. Austin says you could argue Halloween 4 was a loose remake of part 1. Well, right. I mean, every sequel after Halloween 2 was a remake of part 1. That's true. I'll agree there. He goes on, but I don't know about that. It was different enough for me. Yeah, I mean it is. I mean every sequel to Halloween is a remake of Halloween. Except for maybe the original too, but I hear you there. Oh, looks like Wade is another unfortunate who saw the Slumber Party remake. He says it was awful. That's putting it lightly. Austin says Jurassic World was basically Jurassic Park 1 again with some differences. Yeah, I mean, kinda. It was. I guess you could almost call Jurassic World Jurassic Park remake in a way, but I actually like Jurassic World. I was surprised by how good it was at the time. So I'm a fan of Jurassic World. I don't really like the most recent one. I don't even remember what it was called, but I like Jurassic World quite a bit. Wade says they even had the guys do a pillow fight. Slumber Party Massacre remake was an unfunny parody of the original. Right. So in keeping with the current trends, instead of girls basically doing the slumber party cliched stuff, the guys did it with no shirts. The guys were shirtless and jumping around having a pillow fight. So yeah, I mean the trailer made it seem like it had hope, but none of that stuff that made that movie so pathetic was in the trailer. I was hopeful the first, I don't know, 15 20 minutes, but after that it all falls apart to shit. Austin says Halloween 5 and 6 were very different, but those are the most hated ones. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I mean, I guess you're kind of right there. I guess. Yeah, I didn't watch anything past Halloween 3 this year. God, I didn't even watch the 2018 movie. It's because I was watching Halloween Kills. Ah. I'd say about 24 minutes to show remaining. I know Austin could go forever, but I can't. Austin says H2O went back to the basics and it's kind of dull. I don't know. Well, we loved, I remember back in the day when H2O came out and we were very appreciative of it. And it was kind of cool how Michael was more portrayed a little more like he was in the original couple movies, but the mask is so pathetic. I don't watch H2O anymore. I don't watch anything past 4 anymore. I didn't even watch 4 this year, but I'm pretty much over anything past 4 these days. Wade says it rips off other 80s classic with the killer who ends up being, and it was very predictable. My dad called it right away. Oh, are you referring to? Oh, he's talking about Slumber Party still. Yeah, exactly. I knew once. Right. I knew exactly who the second killer was as well. I mean, right away, exactly. It's not very hard to guess. Summerhill says, I actually missed Halloween Kills in the theater, which I greatly regret. Yeah, I don't know if you know, but I didn't see it in the theater. We just streamed it on opening day. Did you watch it at all, Summerhill, or not see it yet at all? Yeah, I mean, we probably should have saw it in the theater, but I've got a pretty good home theater, so I'll just kind of quote unquote see it in the theater when it comes out on Blu-ray, I guess. Wade says, I'm talking about Slumber Party Massacre remake. Yeah, I figured that out. Austin says, H2O was great in 98, but now it just seems very meh. Yeah, I agree. Like, it was great in 98, but now it's just like, I mean, it's not horrible now, but using the Scream music in it because they didn't like the music the guy did. It was just like, yeah. Plus the mask. Austin says H2O just didn't hold up over the years. Summerhill hasn't seen Halloween Kills at all yet. Okay. Okay. What's your plan, Summerhill? Just blind buy the Blu-ray or hell with Halloween Kills? Austin says the Scream music just kills H2O for me. Yeah. Yeah, Scream music belongs in Scream. Wade says my dad, who is a carpenter, found the nail gun scene to be ridiculous. He kept saying how that's not how nail guns work, that it wouldn't shoot like it was a handgun. Yeah, plus these days, I mean, they've got a guard on the end where you have to push down, you have to press it up against something and pull the trigger for it to even shoot. You can't just shoot it like a gun. So he's right. But it's a movie. God, that movie sucked. Austin says they need to put John Ottman's score back into the film and get rid of that temp music. It feels more like a work print than a true final cut. That's kind of true. Let's just put in the Scream music because we've got a release date next week. Summerhill says, yeah, I will probably just get the Blu-ray when it comes out. I will just have to try and avoid any spoilers. Okay, well, I won't. I'll try not to say any. I am curious to see what you think of certain aspects of Halloween Kills. I guess I won't even mention them because I guess they could technically be spoilers, but hopefully you can do possibly a review of Halloween Kills after you see it. Interested to know what Summerhill thinks of it. All right, everyone. T-minus 19 minutes of show left, 18 and a half minutes. Once again, giving everyone an extended show because no one showed up for the first 30 minutes. Wade says Slumber Party Massacre remake couldn't even be that kind to us. I don't know what you're referring to. Austin says, I do have Halloween 2018 on Blu-ray. Yeah, so do I. I'm pretty sure I watched it both in 2019 and last year, but this is the first year I didn't watch it. Once again, because I had my fill of Blumhouse Halloween with the Halloween Kills, I guess. Austin says I might get Halloween Kills to complete the collection. I think studios really bank off people's OCD. A lot of people say that. It's like, oh, it sucks, but I gotta, I'm a completist. It's like they really take advantage of OCD, don't they? Wade says YouTube is blocking my comments. Oh, shit. Well, I guess that's what will happen. Austin says, I was hoping Kills would be better, but I guess not. Laugh out loud. I actually prefer Kills to the 2018 one, but at the same time, I don't know if it's better. There's just, the things that it does, and I guess I can't, well, I don't know if Summerhill's with us anymore anyway, but I'll just say the things that Halloween Kills does, I would rather watch Halloween Kills than Halloween 2018. I said that in my review, I think, and possibly on other shows and stuff. So, but that's not to say that it's all great, and it's hardly all great. Austin says, I wouldn't say it's OCD for me. I'm just a hardcore videophile. Well, that's okay. That's cool. Wade says, I said that Slumber Party Massacre remake couldn't even be kind to us by having, oh, right, the women topless would make up for the awful movie. Well, of course, you can't have things how they used to be now. Now it's the guys topless, isn't it? Wade says that comment shouldn't be blocked. Oh, that's what was blocked. Oh, maybe he's typed topless and they blocked it and he had to change it to shirtless. God. Yeah, I don't know whether or not to make a video talking about the remake or not. On one hand, I want to warn people. On the other, I don't want to acknowledge that it exists. So Austin says, no topless girls in a Slumber Party Massacre film. Blasphemous. That's exactly it. Austin says shirtless guys is great for okay. I'm not gonna read this just for my own protection. I mean out loud. Wade says add a U. Okay. Oh, but I'll say this. Yeah, I agree with what I'll agree with your comment, Austin. I just playing it safe and not saying it. I agree right with you there. Honestly, I don't even know why I even gave it a chance. The trailer was very deceiving. Where the trailer that I saw, it was actually like hope for it. So it was a very deceiving trailer. It made it seem like a fun like tribute to the original movie, and I thought it was actually going to possibly be halfway decent, and it's just nothing. I'll let everyone read Wade's comment in the chat if it stays up. But yep, that's what they did. Yep. Oh, and I don't know why I was surprised. I don't know why I was surprised. Wade says my laptop is lagging, so sorry for the letters missing in some of my comments. Apology accepted. Yeah. Maybe I'll just simply make an avoid Slumber Party Massacre 2021 video or something. I don't know. I'm debating. I don't know. Austin says, Wade, that movie sounds terrible. Yep. Avoid it. By all means. I don't know if Summerhill's still with us, but any idea when you'll be able to get a new camera at all? I mean, I guess the microphone setup works. I guess there's no rush. Maybe Sandy Claus, Santa Claus, Satan Claus. Hmm. Yeah, this is what I sound like 2 hours and 50 minutes in. Very quiet. Summerhill says we'll probably be getting a new camera early next year. Okay, that's cool. Austin says Slumber Party had some of the best 80s VHS covers as well. Yeah, I mean, the poster for the first movie is just beyond classic. I guess the second one too. The VHS cover for the third one wasn't that amazing, but yeah, the first two were pretty amazing. Wade says, I can't see many on the left enjoying Slumber Party Massacre remake. I don't know who the movie was made for. Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, that's disappointing. Austin says the second Slumber Party VHS cover is his favorite. Well, that's cool. You like the old drill guitar. I'm dead. About 8 minutes left, everyone. Yep, you heard right. Austin says the drill is so badass and obscure. The guitar drill, I'm assuming he's referring to Slumber Party Massacre 2. It was such a freaking tease to have whatever the hell her name is in that movie, though. You know, after her topless era. I can't even remember her name, but you all know who I'm talking about. Such a tease and torture to have her in that movie. Wade says, please do a review on Slumber Party Massacre Remake. Also, even if you have to spoil parts of the movie, I'm fine with that, or just warn people before you do a spoiler. Yeah, I'm on the fence. I'll decide whether or not to, though. Thanks for the request. I'll decide. Austin says, did the Slumber Party remake have any practical gore? I don't think so. I think it was all CG. I mean, maybe if there was, it was just, I don't remember, scratches on people's faces or something. I mean, it wasn't, any of the quote unquote serious gore, if any. Some guy's face gets mangled. I can't remember if that was like, you know, um, I mean, there's really almost no way to even tell if it's, if that guy's mangled face was CG or practical. But, when things are actually happening, like people being drilled, I mean, it's definitely CG stuff and, CG hole in the neck or head or whatever the hell it was. It's just such just a ridiculous time we're living in. They're making movies. They're no longer shot on film; they're shot digital. Then they're not. They look digital, and then the gore's digital. It's just like God. How long are they even going to be actually like photographing stuff? How long until all movies are just going to be made in the computer? I mean, they almost look like they are now. So that's my answer to that. Oh, such a joke. All right, everyone. T minus 5 minutes and counting. Oh, my brain and my back. What is this? Oh, okay. Austin says, "Yeah, I don't like how movies look now. They just look too digital, don't they? They just look like they just look they don't even look appealing really anymore." Austin says, "Can't beat 35 millimeter film, yeah, or even 16. Don't forget 16 millimeter. I almost like that more because you're kind of almost, you always get kind of a grain field." Wade says, "The trailer to Slumber Party Massacre makes it look like an entertaining movie, but the actual movie sucks. If you watch the remake, just watch it for free. Don't pay to see this crud." Yeah, I guess that's a good recommendation. Don't pay to see it. Maybe wait until it's Tubi or something. Austin says movies don't look natural now. Yeah, they look like they're all fake. And he agrees. 16 millimeter is cool too. Yeah, we've definitely, in my opinion, ended the heyday of movies. That's for sure. A long time ago. I mean, I guess, when I don't know, I guess part of me never thought that movies would basically stop shooting on film. I mean, I guess you've got, you know, your select Christopher Nolan, Paul Thomas Anderson, Quentin Tarantino's that are probably still shooting on film. But what's kind of sad about the people who even do shoot on film anymore is because they just scan it right into the computer anyway. Even the stuff that is shot on film now almost looks like it's not even shot on film, by the time the movie's done anyway. So it's almost like, ugh. Anyway, the good old days for movies is come and gone, I'll tell you that much. Wade says, "Where did you watch it? Did you watch it on Sci-Fi, Nate? I'm afraid I may have paid for it on Amazon Prime to rent. I'm afraid I paid for it. That's because the trailer made it look promising. So I was lured, I was bamboozled, I was scammed, I was tricked." Wade says, "I downloaded it for free, of course." Well, good for you. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Oh well. It didn't break the bank. I hate the fact that I actually gave that piece of shit movie money though, but life goes on. Austin says, I did watch Jeepers Creepers 3 on TV. Boy, that sucked. I'm assuming he meant to say sucked ass. Yeah, I've got the DVD I got for $3 and I haven't watched it yet. All right, guys, it's time to wind up, say our goodbyes, because no matter how much people are still talking, I'm out of here at the 3 hour mark. Yeah, I guess you can't see the counter like I can. So we've got like 2 minutes left. So actually, no, 1 minute left. So let's say our goodbyes. What time am I gonna start next week, Central Time? Let's no one's answering this question. What time next week am I starting Central Time? Oh, my back. These 3 hour shows are murder. Wade says, since you paid to see it, you should definitely make a review on it, ripping it apart. Bye bye, Nate. Yeah, that's a good point. As I said, I'll give it some thought. Summer Hill says, "Gotta run. Have a great day, everyone." What a coincidence. So do I. Thanks for showing up, Summer Hill, and everyone else, starting at 1 p.m. Central next week and beyond, because the starting at 12 noon stuff is for the Boyds. All right, everyone. Thanks a lot for showing up, and we'll see you on the next one.